Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another weekly watch list. I want to thank you guys for always tuning in, staying in touch with the market and what's going on. Want to really go over, what's going on in the world, how it relates to charts, if charts matter, stuff like that. So, and how I've been doing on trading. There haven't been many trades on my end. Very, very few. There are some trades that I'm in for, just minutes, and very small trades that just, represent, 1% of my portfolio or, what I trade with. And that's just to, stay sharp and kind of really keep me in front of the monitors with as little skin in the game as possible, without, actually doing anything crazy. So, I'm not chasing anything. I'm not forcing any trades. Still playing the charts, much shorter trades. I think that's all you can do in this environment. If you really look at just look at the charts, look at the time frames, hourly and the daily. It's difficult to swing anything or hold anything longer than an hour. Very, very tough. So, there's smaller stuff, 15-minute time frames, 5-minute scalps, stuff like that. So just stuff to stay active. Nothing that I really post about just because, they're high conviction plays, good plays, obviously, but you catch a bad entry and if you don't know how to enter or exit, it's not, it can be frustrating. So I've enjoyed the break, really, to be honest with you. It's just, trading is mentally taxing. It's just, stuff that we do all day, every day. We sit in front of a screen for 7-8 hours at a time, and it's good to sit back and watch, do other things, see how the daily time frames play out. We have a lot of channels. We have a lot of, actually a ton of channels, a ton of different patterns that are playing out. Lower highs and lower lows is what seems to be the theme in downward trend channels. So, I'll go over the names that I'm looking at. We're headed into March, and, it's a great way to really just, find one or two really good setups and play those. There's nothing, we haven't flipped bull yet. It's not one of those set and forget, markets yet. So, without going on too much longer, let me block the sun real quick. We get the sunset here around 5:45 on the West Coast. So, recording this here just 20 minutes before sunset. So I get all the sunlight in my face. SPX. So this is the downward channel that I was speaking of. In the community right before close yesterday, I expected a bullish push into close with a sell-off over the weekend. I know I mentioned that to a few people in the Discord. So, making our way back up to the golden pocket before maybe coming back down. Obviously news changes all of that, and I think this is probably one of the times where news is going to trump everything that goes on with the charts because of uncertainty. I think last week we all knew that there was going to be some type of invasion. It was, it was broadcast everywhere. There were troops lining up around the border. So the market wasn't shocked about that. And people were stunned that, when an invasion actually happened, we pushed up and people couldn't understand it. But that was already priced in. That's why we got the sell-off over the last, 2 weeks. Middle of February, Russia was announcing that they were going to do something. And so did intelligence. So that's what the sell-off was. It was priced in. They knew it was going to happen, and we get the two big bull days. Now you see futures are opening red. So all we're doing is, again, we're just completing the lower high and lower low pattern. Until we break above, what's this? 45.88, 45.80. Until we get past this double top here, we're still in a downtrend. So we can still just do this. And this doesn't change until we break, above, let's just call it 4,600. So until we trade at 4,600, there's not much to play to the upside, especially with news pending and things of that nature. It's unsafe to play, unsafe to swing or take any long-term trades. Scalping is there all day long. So NQ, again, big buy off the bottom, big up, just a long tail, and it's choppy as well. Lower highs and lower lows. Still haven't made it back up to the golden pocket there. Apple, another downward trend, downward channel. We're in the center. There isn't much that you can take here when you're in the middle of a channel. And there's only one of two ways you can go up or down, and it's a coin flip, and that's not the best way to trade. It's just, do we do this, and do we just ping pong again? And obviously, if you've been watching the videos before, you just have to be prepared for chop. So you really can't play Apple until we get, at least above the 80 MA on the daily. And even then, it's very tough to swing. Got to look at smaller time frames, shorter term patterns, stuff like that. So Tesla, again, just respect to the channel. Obviously, we got the sell off and a huge buy up. This is a 100-point day, 700 to 804 in an entire day. You don't see days like this. And this is almost a solid green bar. This is Thursday. You don't see stuff like this. I don't even know how far back I have to go to see a 100-point day on Tesla. Maybe this one here. What's this? 607 to, nope, that's not even a 100-point day. Tesla doesn't give you stuff like this. These are trades that are year makers, day makers. We were in this very light. There were a couple people I know. We were live streaming when this happened. 800 lottos, some people got filled at 2. I think 283 was my fill, 279, something like that. They end up running to 13. I obviously didn't, if you know my trading style, I didn't hold till 13. But this was one of those things where if it came into the zone, you got, this bar has been drawn for God knows how long, months. But it was a low risk trade. If you lose 700, you're out. It's just, that's 700 is a psychological number. The market had to make a decision. It was either going to bounce very hard from it, or it was going to sell off. It wasn't going to hang around 700. So that's what it did. We guessed right. It's always good to be on the right side of the Tesla trades. Those are really weak makers. So Facebook's still untouchable to me until we get back up here. So above 250-ish, if you're not risk averse, you can play it above the 80 MA and just, play it into resistance. Calls above the 80 MA up to 250. It either hits it or it doesn't. Maybe obviously come a little closer, but it's hard to swing anything like that. But for me, realistically, I'm not playing Facebook until it gets, back into the 250 range. At least I know we can chop around in this zone for a little bit, 250 to 300. So Microsoft, same thing, just chopping around in the zone. I actually really like this to the golden pocket. My bread and butter is golden pocket retracements. Sorry about that. Bread and butter is here. That is $21 out of the money. I think you can probably get those relatively cheap at some point tomorrow. And, if they're $1, I don't mind playing that, 2 or 3 weeks out. It's almost like a lotto just because of everything that is going on. So you got to take that with caution, but expect it to, really end up to be nothing. I'd probably say no stop loss, but it is above the 80 MA, and you have nearly a hammer candle that prints. So Microsoft is probably top watch for me for the next couple of weeks. Something I'm really going to keep my eye on. Amazon, it did retrace back to, I drew this at some point a long time ago too. Retraced back down to this 2850 area. So it actually dipped below it, got down to, what's that, 2793. I believe this was the same day Tesla sold off. So 28 to, what is that? 28 to 3028. So that's a 200-point day on Amazon. A lot of money was given away this week in what was supposed to be uncertainty. You had a ton of people, and I believe this was the night of the first real invasion, and, everybody was short. Everybody was short. We came on live that morning and said, it is likely the bottom. When everybody's buying puts, the market's going to go the other way, and shorts got crushed here. You're buying a $2,500 put on Amazon. You got you got smoked. So PayPal, I like it up to the gap fill at some point. Square made a huge move off the bottom. I think it had a 30% day Thursday or Friday, one of those days. I know Sarah took a nice trade on that. I think it was 1,600%. But the golden pocket lines up with this downward channel. And, whether it breaks the channel or not, I could care less. I'm more interested in the golden pocket. So 145-ish, somewhere around there, upper trend line or upper channel is what I'd like to play. Shop also has a gap fill and also is fighting to just change the trend on the daily time frame. So if it can get a daily trend change, fill the gap, the trend changes right around basically 1,000 back to 1K. So obviously that's very far away, and you just got to focus on the gap fill first. But to play it above the ADMA is probably ideal. It's not probably ideal. It is ideal to play it above the ADMA. Get some momentum, maybe 2 or 3 green days in a row, and shoot for something, 30, 40 points out of the money, maybe 50 points out of the money. And also Lotto, because shop premium moves very quickly. It's very tough to play. Just in general, right now in the market, premium and option are very difficult to play. So you got to go into these trades knowing that, and maybe take 3 or 4 trades, and if 1 or 2 of them hit, they cover all the other losses. So you got to have a basket of them if you're going to play. Maybe 2 or 3, something like that. That's my plan going into the next couple weeks. Roku, 2 nice green days. Got to see where it opens tomorrow, but you like it to at least test the upper channel. So 155 above the ADMA. See where it opens tomorrow, and maybe take a shot, 30 points out of the money, to the upper trend line. Again, I'm not looking for anything to break. Maybe leave a runner in case it does. But I'm just looking to play. I'm just looking to play these patterns. I'm looking to play these touches here, all these touches up here. It clearly has a 10 to, nearly here, but want to test these upper trend lines or upper channels. So go from there. Google. Got a couple more. Google, I like to the upside, at least to the golden pocket as well. Can probably play 2850s from the downside. Big green day. This is another, what's that, 25 to 2650, 100-point day. Shorts got smoked coming into that Thursday when the invasion first started. So look for, something like this. Just a slow grind up, nothing crazy. Where are we at here? 27, so 150 points out of the money. It's just, you need 2 50-point days from Google to do that. So Bitcoin, if you believe the bottom is in crypto, especially again what's going on in the world, got trend lines here. Remember, it takes 3 touches to make a trend line, and you've got them here. And if you think this is the bottom, you can at least play it again up to the upper trend line. 42, 44 breakout, I think gets it to 51, 52. Yep, that's what I have. So we'll mark those here. 44, 45 gets you to 52, in my opinion. Ethereum is really the more interesting one of the two, just because of where, these bounced off to the penny. So if you think this is a double bottom, these wicked off, these zones, again, something you can play to the upper trend line, 2,900. A break of that brings it to 32. After that, 38, and eventually 41. So that's what I'm looking at. Again, top watch for me, probably Microsoft and Amazon, sprinkling either shop or Google. I don't want to play too much, but I do want to be active at some point. So that's what I'm watching. We will have a few lives this week, probably 2 at least, maybe even 3. And we will go over, there are a lot of earnings this week. We have Lucid, Zoom, Costco, SoFi, AMC, just to name a few. And there's probably a handful more where you can kind of just coin flip, but buy some 50-cent contracts, up or down, and just look to hit some of those. You know, earnings have been good if you guess the right way, because the volatility has just been so crazy. You know, a lot of 500,000% plays. You know, if you can tolerate the risk in the earnings, I think it's a fantastic time to play them, because volatility is here. VIX is still up, I believe. Let's end on the VIX. Oh, VIX is lower. Okay, so it's crushed. You know, we'll see where that opens up tomorrow, especially if we open up where we are now, down, what's that, 79, 80. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy it, of course, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys this week. Have a great night.